As a leader, before you have difficult conversations, how often do you rehearse what you're going to say? If you do, great. That can be helpful to walk into the conversation prepared and clear about the outcomes that you want. There could also be a downfall to rehearsing where you unknowingly ignore the single most important switch that determines whether your employee listens or completely shuts down. Today, you'll learn the exact framework that high-performing leaders use to turn defensive, even hostile conversations into immediate behavior change. Let's get started. Picture this. You have an employee, let's call him Jeremy. 6 months ago, he was a star performer. Today, he's consistently late, irritable, unpredictable. He's just not himself. And the rest of your team is picking up his slack. You know that you need to address it, and yet you're falling into the trap that many leaders fall into. You enter the room ready to react. You point out where he's dropping the ball and how he needs to get his act together, and within seconds, Jeremy feels your frustration. He gets defensive, you get firm. 30 minutes later, you both walk out of the meeting wondering why the conversation went so south, and that was a complete waste of time. Jeremy shows no intention to improve. When having difficult conversations with employees, it's not only important what you say, it's also how you say it. The silent mistake that you could be making in your difficult conversations is not being emotionally regulated. And that's what's preventing even your best words from landing with your employees. Here are 3 ways to get different results to your next difficult conversation before you even open up the door. The first is what I call the curiosity reset. When you go into a difficult conversation with your mind already made up about this person and without knowing the full story, you come across as judgmental. And Jeremy will sense it. Every employee, even those who are underperforming like Jeremy, have an innate defense mechanism that gets triggered when they feel threatened. In fact, we all do. Instead of opening with criticism, open with genuine curiosity and questions, such as, Jeremy, I notice you don't seem like yourself lately. Is everything okay? How are you doing? Really? By opening with a question and genuine curiosity, you convey you see him as a person, not as a problem. And when you add the word really on the end, it's letting him know that you really want to know, that this isn't just a superficial conversation. This is because you genuinely care. Now, you may be thinking this question can come across like you're prying into his personal life, when in reality, it's showing him that you care about him beyond his work, what he can do for the company, and he's more likely to share with you what's really going on because he feels you care. So the first strategy is to ask questions with curiosity and with care. And the second strategy is being aware of your tone and your body language. In your mind, if you've already written Jeremy off and created a negative story in your mind's eye about him, your body language is going to snitch on you before you walk in the door. When you walk in with a furrowed brow or a tight jaw or a tone to your voice, you communicate judgment, a negative assumption, way before your words do. So here's how to be aware of your tone and your body language before you enter the conversation. Pause and ask yourself this one question. Who do I want to be in this conversation? Who do I want to be in this conversation? When you answer that question for yourself before you meet with Jeremy, you're more likely to show up grounded and curious rather than judgmental and reactive. And Jeremy is more likely to feel safe to share with you what's really going on with him. And it may be something at home, it may be a struggle he's having with one of his kids, it may be dealing with aging parents, it may be that he's feeling so overwhelmed at work and yet he's afraid to ask for help. Whatever it is, if he senses from you, you genuinely care about him, you're asking with curiosity, and you are managing your own reactivity before that conversation, Jeremy is more likely to open up with you. The third strategy is to control the controllables. That's one of my favorite quotes by the great basketball coach John Wooden, who won multiple NCAA national championships with UCLA. Wooden taught his players to control the only thing they could control, which is their attitude and their effort. Here's the hard truth. You cannot control whether Jeremy gets defensive, makes excuses, or whether he'll take ownership for how he's been showing up lately. You can only control your response. If he denies the feedback you're giving him and doesn't accept your help, stay anchored in your responsibility as a leader to show him that you care about him as a person, and your responsibility is to hold him accountable for both his performance and his conduct. When you do that, you're letting him know that you know something's going on and you want to help him, even if he denies it. Here's a bonus tip. When things get uncomfortable, and they're likely to, avoid making the mistake of becoming reactive by lecturing or shaming Jeremy. Instead, stay committed to asking questions with curiosity, aware of your tone, your body language, setting clear expectations for both his performance and his conduct. And if appropriate, offer resources such as coaching or resources for your employee assistance program. If Jeremy reacts, don't take the bait. When you have this type of tough conversation with emotional control, Jeremy will remember you cared enough to confront and check in with him and offer help. So your opportunity this week, should you choose to accept it, is to think about a difficult conversation you've been putting off. Before you go into that conversation, be curious, ask questions with curiosity, be aware of your tone, your body language, and control the controllables. Here's to inviting the Jeremys in your office to reach their full potential. I'll see you in the next video.